following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
The Nostalgia Funhouse proudly dedicates all episodes in the loving memory of Connie Chirac. So, Johnny, I've been hearing really great things about this Nostalgia Funhouse. It just brings back so many great memories.
Andrew, the only reason I'm moving in line with you here is that you really vouched for this show. So I'm just going to believe you that this is the show that, I've been wanting, which is just talking about all the fun stuff from our yesteryear and the years before. And I really hate anything meta. So I'm glad that what we're doing right now is not that.
Oh, no, definitely. What is meta? Isn't that Ron Artest's new name?
Well, add World and Peace to it, sure.
Yeah, but this is great. They last year they were tearing play sets and Halloween costumes.
Well, that sounds cool.
They get these weird court recordings from pop culture courts.
Does anybody care about court cases?
These ones are kind of cool. They put Scott Kelvin on trial. Poor old Santa Claus there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, man. You know what's the best part about this is though? Is I hear they always got a really great sponsor. You can check it out right there.
Vicky Vale.
Hi. Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
I'd like you to handle this operation personally. Me? Nice outfit.
Hold on a second. I can't make it then either. I've got a very important meeting today.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man! What are you? Batman.
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
Alfred, let's go shopping.
Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker.
I feel a little drunk. And you're not anything.
Hey, one drink and I'm flying.
Winged freak terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
Tell me, Nostalgia Funhouse, do you dance underneath a pale moonlight? Do you? I'm Johnny. He's Andrew. Andrew?
I do sometimes with the devil.
Oh, that's when you got to do it. Yeah. I know there's a part I was forgetting. I literally just watched this movie.
Yeah. Johnny went through hell to watch
I really did.
Batman from 1989.
Tim Burton's Batman.
Yes.
This reminded me, it really had been a while since I actually watched this movie all the way through. I'd forgotten a lot of this movie.
And this is a long movie for us. This is
yes,
4 and 26 minutes.
Especially from a movie from on the brink of being 1990. This is a 1989 movie.
Yeah.
And it's over 2 hours long.
Yeah. But that's what we're talking about today. Batman from 1989. Let's see. I'm going to do United States, not the Los Angeles premiere. It premiered in the United States, across the country, June 23rd, 1989. Budget of $48 million. And Johnny, this movie made 41. I'm so tired. $411.6 million.
Peek behind the scenes, listeners. Andrew and I are both really tired. So we're sorry for whatever happens. I think we both need sleep.
Yes.
And a nap sounds like, when you're a kid, I remember being a kid and my mom would be like, I want to go take a nap. And I'm thinking, you're just wasting. When I was a kid, I was thinking, you're just wasting so much of the day. You could be awake doing stuff. As an adult, though, I've discovered naps are just effing incredible.
Yes, they are the best.
They are incredible. They rule. So, but
I'm-
this movie, Andrew, I do remember. I mean, obviously, I've always been a Batman nerd. I love Batman. So
yeah.
when this movie came out, and it was sort of taking Batman in a more darker tone than what I was used to. I was used to the Adam West Batman.
Well, you do
much,
the Bat
much,
Tuesday every Tuesday.
yeah, yeah. And I was so used to trying to figure out if Batman and Robin were going to be able to get out of whatever predicament they were in. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah. Well, Egghead was a very formative foe there.
Oh yeah, he was. Don't mess with the egghead.
Egghead and King Tut.
But yeah, I do remember liking this movie, and but I was thinking, I was like, is this the Batman movie that I've actually seen the least of amount of times? And I think it might be.
I think recently I'll say yes. As a kid, I don't know who got this for me, but somebody got it for me on the lovely VHS. So it's something that I would just watch constantly, as you know,
Yeah.
nothing was on TV, no DuckTales or anything. Late at night,
Yeah.
you know,
Can't beat DuckTales.
mom had to go take a nap or something, or
Yeah.
throw in.
Yeah. I mean, this is one that I definitely got to saw. That's great English. This is one that I definitely got to saw when my parents rented it and we watched it.
Johnny cut it in half.
Yep. The king from the Bible before me had to choose to cut it in half or keep it whole.
I don't want
And-
to sound like Brian. I saw this in the theaters.
Oh, snaps. I'm going to one up you. I saw Short Circuit in the theater. So,
I never saw that one in the theater.
I don't remember it. I was just told that I was there. But I do think that out of all the Batman movies, I mean, this is one of those that I never owned, but like anytime I saw it on call any of it on TV, this is one of those movies I would just watch because it was on TV.
I remember when we went to the movies, they gave out like almost like a program, I want to say, if my memory serves me correct.
So a guy going up and down the aisles of the theater, get your programs,
It was
get
like
your
right,
Batman here.
right when you got the ticket. You get the-
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
less fun.
You don't remember when you got a ticket in a movie theater and you had it
Yeah,
early to get
you
a
remember?
seat?
You remember when they didn't? You got there early and you got to pick whatever seat you wanted.
Yeah. Oh,
These assigned seat things drive me batty.
I can't. You know what's the worst part about it? Oh, I
What?
can't make a joke. Is the person that goes to the movie theater by themselves and
Yeah.
they pick it where in a spot where it just screws up like. So I mostly go to movies with me and my two sons. So
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it like screws it up where I'm like, oh man, this would be a perfect row. And then there's that one blanked out seat. And you're like, who is that person?
Right?
This is why they should not have reserve seats.
Yeah, I hate it.
What did you do not to get off too much of a topic here? Because grew up in New York, kind of a cold weather area. So movies were a little bit more in winter and stuff like that sometimes. Did you
Yeah,
guys
indoor activity. Yeah.
yeah, did you guys use the coat method to reserve seats back in the day? So my mom would be like, give me your coats. So if we were waiting for somebody else, because we went to the movie theaters with friends sometimes. So my mom would be like, take off your coats. And then she'd put it in like 3 other seats and we were waiting for 3 other people.
Oh yes,
But,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Kind of reserving them in a way. Yes.
that
Yeah.
is fine because we got there. Somebody got there. I don't know. I
actually as if I as someone else, I would appreciate that because it'd be really awkward if I accidentally sat somewhere that somebody else was planning on sitting. I always when they started doing the assigned seating things down here, which again I hate,
I hate
because a lot of times I would go to a movie by myself. And I was like, well, I'm not going to sit right there. But I would purposely not sit in the middle somewhere
okay.
because I was like, that's just going to ruin somebody else's.
Okay. So
There's
you
not many. Most people aren't going by themselves. So I would
No.
I would pick like an end seat. One of the end seats is what I would do.
I wouldn't mind going. I wouldn't mind definitely going to a movie by myself sometimes.
I actually really enjoyed it. It's really nice just kind of being to yourself in a way.
Yeah.
And
'cause
if you're by yourself, most people will check the other way not to sit near you. So,
yeah. Oh, I love that. When I go with my kids, they're older now, but even when they were like younger, and it would be like, "Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom," you're like, "Oh, I can't hold it." I want to
yeah.
watch this movie. But yeah, but they gave out like programs, and it was more of like a promotion for the toys, the
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Toy Biz
Yeah.
toys that were just repaints of superpowers.
No, they don't do that in the toy business. I don't know what you're talking about. They don't reuse stuff.
Never.
That's not a thing.
But yeah, I realize I haven't seen this since pretty much all the way through since I was a kid.
Yeah, it had to be at least 15 years since I'd seen it all the way through.
Yeah, I'm probably looking. Yeah, I'd probably say 15, 20 for me as well.
Yeah.
So
So
like, I'm gonna sit down and watch this. I could still remember a lot of points, but
I mean, the main things I definitely remember. There's parts of this movie that are basically iconic now.
yeah,
So those things I definitely remember. But there's some notes I took, stuff that stood out to me that I was like, I don't remember this, and some of it. Okay, overall, spoiler alert: I did enjoy this movie,
yeah.
but there's some stuff that doesn't age well.
I got a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah.
Uh, very.
Did you know that Batman was Bruce Wayne?
Oh my goodness.
Did
What?
you know that his parents were killed?
Okay, so I got a lot of issues with this. So pretty much the movie is
It's Batman v Joker, is what this is.
Batman v Joker, but it's not Batman's not the established character in Gotham City until the end when he
Right,
finally
right.
beats the Joker. So he is more of a mythical creature and a reporter, Alexander Knox.
Okay, let's talk about him since you brought him up.
I thought he was a hidden gem. I don't
Uh,
think I forgot how great. I thought he was great.
He is good, but is he also kind of a creep?
He is, but I feel like
But by the way, I can say that about most characters in this movie.
yeah, I feel Robert Wall always kind of plays that kind of off the wall character. Like the episodes of Arliss that I've seen.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is in that,
Uh,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he also does. Because we're both history buffs. If you ever check it out on, I believe it's still on Max. It's called "Assume the Position," where he kind of talks about the myths and truths of history.
I'll definitely watch that, and I just want to know how mature I'm being by not making a joke
Yeah,
about that name.
You gave it a chuckle. You gave it.
I did chuckle, but that's because
But that's
I'm
right.
a human being.
Yeah, I don't even know. I was just watching HBO one day and it just came on, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, I gotta remember that. I do like history programs.
I saw Robert Wall. Now, if I would have seen it on the guide, I would have been like, shouldn't this be on late at night? But
Oh, one thing also when this movie's starting out and the credits are going, one thing that really struck me, I don't know why. I think it's because I'm a comic book nerd at heart, but it said based on the characters from the magazines. They were calling the comics
that too?
magazines.
You caught that too?
Yeah, I was like, just say comic books. It kind of annoyed me a little bit.
You know what's funny is they did the whole uh based on Bob Kane too.
Yeah.
And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, but if you go to Wikipedia now, they corrected that on Wikipedia and put Bill Finger.
Yeah, you got to put them both. It's both of them. And Bob does get a shout out in that little sketch drawing that the police draw to make fun of the reporter we were talking about.
Oh, the kind of like the man bat thing.
Yeah, yeah, and the signature was Bob Kane
Yeah.
underneath it. Yeah, this
It,
is this one of I'm trying to remember Tim Burton's filmography. Like, where does this go in his? This is one of his first movies, right?
I want to say this is before Edward Scissorhands.
It's got to be, yeah. I think Edward Scissorhands was
It's-
after this.
It's after Beetlejuice.
Oh, so Beetlejuice was before this. Okay.
Okay, so he worked with. Let me see if I can't bring up his like little. Okay, so to kind of go through the sequence to get up to Batman
Yeah.
is his filmography goes, I'll go with, well, there's more. Oh,
Well, he was a puppeteer on the Muppet movie. Let's not forget that.
those are he had a bunch of like short films, uh, some acting roles.
He worked for Disney for a little bit too,
Um,
like as an artist, if I'm thinking correctly.
but it looks like director. Wow, what a run. This guy is huge in my childhood. Just looking at his
Oh, he had some bangers. Yeah.
85 first directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That's right. Yes, that's the one I was blanking on.
88 is Beetlejuice. 89 Batman. 90 Edward Scissorhands. 92 Batman Returns. 93 Nightmare Before Christmas he was a producer on.
Right, yeah, he didn't direct it, but that's got his fingerprints all over it. Yeah.
Ed Wood 94, Mars Attacks.
Oh man, we got to do Mars Attacks. I do love that movie a lot.
96, Sleepy Hollow, which is such an underrated movie.
Yes, yeah, that one's done very well.
And then he kind of falls off here with Planet of the Apes. I have did I ever tell you my story about Planet of the Apes before we get into more of this movie review?
Did you cuss them out?
No. So
were they dirty? Were they not clean?
When I was injured, painkillers are very powerful.
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay, so I was on a morphine drip, and then they would give me like Percocets and stuff too, because you can't just keep on giving me morphine constantly.
Right.
So I was in there, and they were like, "Hey," in the hospital, and the Marine Corps liaison was like, "Hey, you want some movies?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take anything, just because I can't get up and walk around or anything."
Yeah, you got to have something to do.
So I'm sitting there watching, and going through, and I'm like, I watched they had Spider-Man 2. I want to say it was Spider-Man 2. And I was like, oh, I watched this already. So I saw Planet of the Apes. So I was like, I'm gonna put this in. Now I was like, wow, this movie is great. This is Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg. And I'm like, wow, this is great. This is amazing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So finally I get home, and I'm not on.
You're clear. You're more clear-headed.
Yes, and so it's on like FX or something, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this movie. It's so good. I got like 15 minutes into it, and I go, oh my goodness, I don't ever want to do drugs again. What this does.
I saw so many people try to do mushrooms before they watch something.
Oh, you would have to. It was amazing when I was on Tons of People. It would have been like a cinematic masterpiece almost.
It was your Citizen Kane when you were.
It was like, how is this so great? But now I'm like, no.
You're probably looking up. Did this win Academy Awards? this piece of art.
This is horrible.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, the beginning part. So when the couple is leaving the theater or whatever, and the guy gets robbed, and then they're splitting up the money on the rooftops.
Yeah.
And then Batman comes along, and he's not very quiet. I always remember him very quiet.
This is a very loud Batman, and I never noticed this until now. Like, you can definitely tell that he cannot turn his head in that suit. Yeah. He's got to turn every part of him to turn to see things. Not a very practical suit. It looks good. It's a sweet looking suit, but
yeah. And he does a lot of arm raising.
Yes.
The cape arm raising.
It kind of reminded me, like, they should have done, like, those McDonald's toys where they only have like one action.
Yeah.
And it's always something like an arm going up or something like that. That's what it reminded me of.
I noticed that. I was like, why does he keep on raising his cape, dude? Keep it down. But yeah. I love it that he's talking to him. And it was always such an iconic scene when he's got the criminal and he's like, are you going to kill me? And he's like, no, I want you to go back and I want you to tell everybody. And I'm like, shouldn't you be like, go turn yourself in afterwards and make sure you give those people back their wallet?
Yeah. And he never does do that. Yeah.
No. And
those people just stayed robbed.
Yes. But then all of a sudden they do like turn themselves in or something at some point. I don't know. Because
I don't know.
Arrested. because the good old your buddy Porkins is in this as
Well, yeah. Porkins is a hero.
Detective Eckhart. And then Billy D. Williams. Once again, I would have loved to have seen a Billy D. Williams Two-Face.
Yeah, I would have too. I mean, because he doesn't get a lot to do in this movie.
No, it's just a lot of lawyering stuff.
Yeah, he's kind of wasted in this movie, in my opinion, because he's obviously such a charismatic dude.
He's always playing some type of a politician role. He was he was the
Yeah,
Governing-
even Lando's kind of a politician.
yeah, because he was the governing, kind of like the governor or whatever of
Yeah.
Cloud City. I know there's somebody out there listening to us shaking their fists. They know he's not. He was this. Probably.
Yeah, probably good we don't have a guy who was literally on a Star Wars podcast doing this show. He could remember the stuff like that.
I also like the fact that Jack Napier, Joker, also is having an affair, we'll say, with the lead crime boss's girlfriend.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden she comes in, and because they make a comment, if Grissom knew, there's a lot of Jacks in this now that I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it. Can we? Yeah, because it's Jack Grissom, right? Oh no, Carl Grissom played by Jack Palance. Okay, that's right. But when she comes in with the bags, and then she looks over at
Yeah, she's not making it.
pre-Joker, and then
Yeah,
he
she's.
looks- and
Yeah,
I'm
it's very obvious that
like,
that's
oh.
going on.
Jack.
Yeah. Also, her and Jack had very little chemistry.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And I'm not blaming either one. Sometimes you just don't have chemistry with somebody. But
And then also I like the where they needed to open up cases of champagne, and he's like, open up six. Six
Yeah.
guys. So just open up six.
yes,
Are you trying to do that? And I always remember the Robert Wall slash Alexander Knox when he looks at the one armor and he's like, who is this guy? King of the Wicker People? I always have that in my head.
you know what also struck me? This is the party scene, the first where you kind of meet Bruce Wayne for the first time. This big party is happening in a part of Wayne Manor where it's like literally just like a wide hallway.
Yeah.
Like, why is this not an actual room? Like, he has giant rooms, and it's in like it seemed like just a big hallway to me.
Did it seem like at certain points where they were in a room somewhere, and I don't know if it was what type of camera or anything, did it seem like they were shooting on a green screen and then all of a sudden it looked like a regular room? Or is that just
There were a lot of parts in this that were definitely aged by technology today.
Okay.
A lot of shots that I noticed like that, especially like wide shots where they're trying to show him on roofs and stuff like that. It definitely looked very old.
Yeah. When like the bat plane crashes, that was some sweet practical effects though. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I could tell that was
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm fine with that though.
And why does Bruce Wayne slash Batman wear glasses? Does he wear contacts when he's Batman?
He got that from Clark Kent.
What is going on with that? That was the other thing that I wrote down. I'm like, why is Batman wearing glasses? The long dinner table. That was always a very awkward scene. When
Yeah.
he's on the date with Vicky Vale.
Yeah. What's even more awkward though is they're drinking, and she is obviously drunk. And he makes a point to say that he's not drunk. She points out that he's not drunk. He agrees that he's not drunk. I forgot the sentence. He says something.
Oh, this
Like-
is
He says something about just that he's pretty clear minded. And what does he do? He makes out with an incredibly drunk lady.
yes. And that takes her to his room.
Right. And then the next scene, they're in his bed. Now, you don't know if anything happened.
Well, she's in the bed.
No, he was in the bed at first, too,
Oh yeah, because
with her.
Then
He's holding her. They're cuddling. Yeah.
Then he's hanging. Like I always thought that was cool as a kid. I was like, oh man, look, it's Batman. He's like sleeping upside down. Now as an adult, I'm like, come on. We're really just feeding into this thing.
Yeah.
We're
I can't think of anything else that hangs upside down, though.
yeah. The other
Bat's
thing
feet in the cave.
the other thing that I love was that kind of got me is when she's like trying to figure out who Bruce Wayne is in there. You're gonna tell me you're gonna go to Gotham City. Okay?
Right.
And you're not gonna know at least like a premise of the most wealthiest person
like he's incredibly famous in Gotham City.
Yes, that's throwing these parties and these. It was like a casino party.
Yeah.
Throwing these parties and everything else, and you're not gonna like be like, oh, I'm not gonna read up on this guy because she's like, what do you do? Well, he's in Gotham City. Okay,
And what
tell me
what does he
you
do?
don't
He's
know?
rich. That's what he
Yeah.
does. He bees rich.
Yeah. But the Joker gets or Jack Napier gets set up by Mr. Grissom.
Yeah.
And that's how we get Joker. And I didn't realize how Saw like that scene was when he goes to the like plastic surgeon.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
acid-
This is after he's already fell into the acid. The next scene, he's being worked on by that doctor, the plastic surgeon. And that's where he gets the iconic grin face.
And also, this is the worst.
In my head, Andrew, though, I remember him like I had it in my brain that for some reason I thought like he killed the like after he gets his face, he kills the doctor, but he doesn't. He just walks
No.
upstairs.
There's got to be one, and this has got to be the worst Alfred ever. I'm 100%. Okay, hear me out, Johnny. So
I will. Yeah, that's
After the
that's
one
our
more-
shirt, by the way. Hear
Yeah.
us out.
So after like the whole thing with Vicky Vale 2 or another one, she's like, hey, do you want to come to my house for lunch? Do you want to do this? And he's like, oh, I can't. I got a business meeting. I got to go out of town.
Oh yeah. He totally blows his spot.
And
yeah.
then all of a sudden, Vicky Vale comes downstairs and she's like, oh, have a nice trip or whatever like that. And he's like, oh, we're not going anywhere. And I'm like, come on, Alfred, stick with the story.
Oh, Alfred.
Because he also lets her into the damn Batcave. But
Yeah.
I also come to
Well, Batman took her to the Batcave first. let's
Batman
be
took
fair.
her to the Batcave, but he didn't knock her out. I remember he brought somebody else. I think I don't know. I haven't watched all of them in a while, but isn't there one? It's either a movie or I think it's in the 1960s episode. He does bring somebody to the Batcave, but he pretty much knocks them out with like gas.
Yes, I remember this too.
I
Yeah,
think so. It's in the 60s.
because I thought it was going to happen in this when he's driving to the Batcave,
Yeah.
and that's when it's the most Tim Burton this movie gets. Those when he's when they're driving through the woods.
Yeah.
Like that scene that looks very Tim Burton.
That looks, it reminded me of Edward Scissorhands, and it's funny
Yeah.
that all of a sudden
I was thinking Sleepy Hollow. So,
oh, were
yeah.
you? I was thinking Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
I love Edward Scissorhands. Saw that in the movie too, John, in movie theater too.
Well, I saw Sleepy Hollow in the movie theater. So.
But I went to the cheap show to go see Edward Scissorhands. That was a weekend thing. But yeah, it's also the Love That Joker commercial always sticks in my head from
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
since I was a kid. And we could do this is where it gets really dated. Can we talk about the boombox during the museum scene?
Yes.
Wasn't there a different song playing?
All right, let's talk about. Like I have a note before that, but I do want to pigeonhole this because I definitely want to talk about the
Okay.
music in this movie. Because I can't remember when this scene happens, but I'm looking at my notes. When after Bruce, she knew that Bruce had lied to her that he was going out of town.
Yeah.
She gets all Snoopy, right? She wants to find everything out
Oh,
about
she
Bruce
does.
Wayne. And one of the things she does is she drives to his house. And is very obvious that she's like maybe 10 feet in front of his gate as he's driving out of his house. 100% he saw her. There's no way that he did not see her.
It's so
But let's talk about the music.
I remember there being a different
Okay, let me get this part out first. Prince, incredibly talented. I don't think anybody would ever say any different. Right? Prince obviously was an incredibly talented person. I don't think any music he made for this movie fits this movie.
no, because I was thinking, but this was a different movie that came out, I believe, in 88 or 89. Why was I thinking Bobby Brown? But I remember Bobby Brown doing some of the music for Ghostbusters too.
Yes. The music from Prince in this movie really reminded me of anime. By that I mean you'll like Naruto is a great example of this. I'm getting really super nerdy here,
Isn't
but like in a lot of anime, I don't watch a ton, but I watched enough to know this.
yeah.
Like a lot of anime, the episodes will end on cliffhangers, and they'll be incredibly like emotional. Things are happening here. Like a character could die, or a character's just died. Something incredibly sad's happened, and then the credits were hit, and then the music will hit. Like oh man, I can't believe he's dead. Oh yeah, no. Like it's just incredibly happy music just hits right after that. It doesn't fit what you just saw, and that's how I kind of feel. And this is again, Prince incredible. When Doves Cry is an insanely great song, but the music that he made for this, didn't he make these songs just for this movie? I feel like he did.
Yeah.
I might be making that up.
I'm looking
I
at
don't
the
know.
track list thing. It says all tracks are written by Prince except that were noted. Anybody else that wrote anything on here was Sheila Easton and John L. Nelson.
Yeah, I just remember that being a big selling point. One of the selling points in this movie is that Prince did music for it, I think.
Yeah, that was, and the bat dance I remember being
Yes.
I remember being a thing at the YMCA that we used to go to, had the bat dance on the
That could be a future episode where we're talking about different famous dances from pop culture characters. I can do the Urkel.
do the part man.
That's not what I was thinking of, the part man.
But I remember this being on the jukebox at the good old YMCA along with the the Nightmare on Elm Street Will Smith one.
Yeah.
But but I remember I thought there was like a different song with like actual lyrics when he was going through the museum and breaking things, and then I didn't like that. I remember as a kid, I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it seemed very cartoonish, like when the guy starts dancing like a ballerina to go mess up the ballerina painting.
Yeah.
I
I
this movie kind of, I'm not gonna lie, this movie changed my mind on a lot of things.
the tone was kind of all over the place.
Yeah, like when Joker goes to Vicky Vale's apartment and Bruce Wayne's in there.
Yeah.
And
I do have a problem with this scene. Yeah.
what when he flips out?
Yeah. When it's a very famous line, if you want to get nuts, let's get nuts.
Why?
I do love that line, but if you actually look at the scene and deconstruct it like first of all, it makes no sense. Second of all, he's banking on being shot in that one specific area.
Yeah.
If Joker had shot anywhere else, he'd be dead. He's gone.
He's that, and even in the museum when he comes in as Batman.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's got like that that's not like the grappling hook, but like a zip line bat tool.
Yeah.
It's like not instantaneous. And I understand there are restrictions for the time.
Right.
This is not an instantaneous thing where it was like he just like put it out. Then the two like hooks came out. And then it seemed like another like 5 seconds before they even fired.
Yeah. There's plenty of time for them to be shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing too, let's talk about something that is awesome. The Batmobile just freaking rules in this movie. The Batmobile is awesome.
Yes, I love the Batmobile. I love when he blows up the Joker's factory, because when they find out that it's
let's talk about
the combination of different products that
there's a very famous comic book storyline with the Joker where in the animated series actually did do this too, where like the Joker poisoned the fish and people ate the fish and they would get that smile and it would kill them. So I think it's what he was trying to do, is kind of adopting that into this. But Batman goes to the factory. Well, he sends his car into the factory.
Yeah, but you don't know that though.
You don't know that until afterwards.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is he goes in there, literally drops a bomb, 1,000,000% murders at least 30 to 40 people.
Batman kills people in this.
Yes, left and right. He just murdered poor souls left and right.
That is one thing I didn't notice until now. is Batman murders people. And what does Batman not do in pretty much everything that they make of Batman?
It's like one of his major rules is
Yeah.
he doesn't kill. That is not the case here.
The other Batmobile over Batplane, because all of a sudden the Batmobile takes numerous shots.
Yeah.
I know the armor coats it, and then that's how it survives the explosion in the factory. But all of a sudden at the end, Joker is handing out $20 million so people will flood the streets so he could do, let go of his Smile X or his Joker gas.
Yeah. Oh, very important question. Favorite Batmobile? Which version is your favorite?
I like this one. I think this one's my favorite.
This was pretty great. This was definitely be my top 3. I think my all-time favorite is the Adam West, though. I just love that.
That's number 2 because
We might have the same top 3, just in different order. I got that one, the animated series want to be in there, and then this one would be my top 3.
I think animated series would be 3.
Yeah.
So I think it's 89, Adam West, and then no. If I'm going with practicality, it's 89 animated series, then Adam West out of
I'm going with the ones I just think look sweet.
Okay. Because the Adam West one, that's a convertible.
Yeah, but it rolls. It's a sweet convertible.
And it's got tires, the regular old tires.
Yeah, but that red and that black, that's just like that red trim
The
is just
siren?
perfect. Yeah, it's so good.
I love the 1960 Batman. Chris and I
Yeah.
did it when the podcast had a different name, or the old podcast.
I don't recognize those days.
Yeah, I know you. So we might have to revisit that episode again and do it. But yeah, Batmobile over Batplane, because the Batplane gets taken down with one shot.
Yeah,
And it wasn't like, so as a kid, I thought it was like a giant gun with like a larger caliber
no,
bullet.
no,
It's just
a pistol.
yeah, with a very, very long barrel.
Yeah, it's not even like a sniper rifle. It's just a pistol. a comically long barreled pistol, but it's a pistol
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Joker's one heck of a shot. Let's go ahead and say that, though.
Yeah. And he takes out the whole plane. The
Yes.
whole plane. It goes skidding and everything else. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's some good old practical effects. But that's when he gets into the cathedral and he straight murders people.
Yep, he's murdering people left and right. Let me ask you this, too. How do you feel about one of the big reveals in this is that, and not all versions of Batman do this, because I do have a preference when it comes to the Joker being the one who shot his parents.
I didn't like that one too much.
I also didn't like it.
I thought that was kind of,
That's just too much. That's like just
and he
trying to force a connection between the two that you didn't need to force.
knew it because of the
The saying he always says.
the line. And then he tells Joker who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, so he had to kind of kill him.
That's a perfect opportunity though for a great line from Joker to say something like Bison said in the Street Fighter movie. Like why would he remember who his parents were? Like he goes, "Oh yeah, you're Bruce Wayne." Like he immediately knew.
Yeah. Oh, I know you. And he says it right in front of Vicky. Well, Vicky Vale already knows.
She already knows. She was already letting that back game. Yeah.
I wonder what happened to Vicky Vale.
Yeah. Oh, by the
I
way,
think
yeah.
they say
But you're
something.
right. You know how Joker dies? Because Batman murders him.
Batman murders so many people. This is the murdering Batman. I don't even think Christian Bale's Batman murdered anybody, and he's darker than this.
Yeah, certainly. I think the only other Batman I remember thinking he definitely murdered people was the Snyder one. Because when he's in the Batmobile, he's definitely just mowing down bad guys with machine guns with that Batmobile.
But isn't that, they're more like aliens? Isn't that like the?
No, it was people at one point. It was human beings. Yeah.
Oh wow, Jesus.
I like how you think it's okay if it's aliens, though.
Who me?
Who me? Yeah.
Yeah. There's certain things. Reminds me of in Ted the series. I love it when he's talking about alive. And he won't eat a guy. But he's like okay with eating a woman. But when he gets to a guy, he's like, well, if I have to. And Ted's like, I like it how you have a very stern stance on this.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. There's my stance. Batman is okay to kill anything that is not from Earth.
There you go. Yeah.
If you're an alien, he he can mow you down all day long.
Yeah. Watch
I
out,
will have
Superman.
and I will have no problem with it. He pretty much almost does kill him in that Frank Miller comic.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, there's a lot of times where, like, he does have. There's a it's a very famous comic book storyline, Justice League, where Batman. It's found out I can't remember the criminal, so one of the bad guys, villains, found out that Batman literally has a contingency plan against everyone if anybody goes bad in the Justice League because
Oh,
he knows
yeah.
all their weaknesses and stuff. It's called the Tower of Babel or something like that. It's
the
really good.
the animated one, right? It's an animated movie also.
Yeah, they kind of go yes, but the comic is actually better in my opinion. But yeah, it's Batman's. That's the other thing too. Like Batman's quote unquote superpower is he's incredibly well trained,
Yes.
right, in martial art, like in all kinds of different martial arts,
I need to. That's what I was going to bring up too in a minute.
and B, he's incredibly intelligent, especially when it comes to being prepared for things.
Yes, he's very.
And there's a lot of times in this movie where like he's definitely not prepared
No,
for a lot of things that happen.
I want to know, and I've been noticing this since I go back and I watch a lot of older movies. Pretty much every action movie that I've gone back to rewatch, uh, there's always the Asian martial artist with the swords.
Yes, yeah,
Or some type of
who are doing way too much.
ninja weapon.
Yeah, they're doing
All
way
they
too
do-
much.
And all they do is yell.
Yeah.
And that is it. And also, speaking of yelling, Vicky Vale screams way too much. She has the world's most annoying scream that I've ever heard it.
Yeah, very pretty lady, but screams quite a bit.
Oh,
There's
but
also a lot of times where Batman or Bruce Wayne later tells her to shut up. Like he'll say, "Look, I like you a lot. I love you, but shut up."
yeah. But when he kills the Joker, and then all of a sudden it's got the laughing bag.
Yeah.
And then they end it with the bat signal because all of a sudden I never noticed too either how little Commissioner Gordon is in this. Like
Yeah, he's not a big part of this at all. He's only got like a few little things he does.
it seems like in the other ones, like I haven't watched Batman Returns in a while, or I've never really watched Batman and Robin. I
Oh, we
put
should
a
have.
freeze on that one.
Oh,
But
we should watch it though.
it seems like in all the other ones, Commissioner Gordon plays a pretty big role. Like,
He's pivotal in Batman's mythos for sure.
yeah, like even in the Adam West, he's always going to see Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
And everything else.
We're their allies.
But in this, there was nothing. Like there was no meeting. There was no like, hey, we're gonna do this or anything, or hey, are you on our good side? Like I just remember even like when they would kind of set things up of Batman first meeting Commissioner Gordon, where they would have the meetings on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Even before like Bat Signal, if I might be crazy with this, but all of a sudden in this one, like there's really no Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, I mean he's there, but he's basically just window dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, Bob the Goon. Why did he kill Bob the Goon?
That's just to show that he's crazy, I guess. But Bob the Goon was like, "Why do you kill that guy? Like he's your ride or die right there."
Yeah. Like he was the one when Eckhart was going to pull the gun on him.
Yeah, he saved him multiple times. Yeah,
He was right over his shoulder.
man, you got to keep if you have a Bob the Goon in your life, you got to keep them. You got to keep
Always,
them.
always keep your Bob the Goon close.
Yeah,
Oh,
but that's Batman '89. What character would you be,
oh,
Andrew?
of course, Alexander Knox. Even though he's a creepy guy, I thought I liked him. I liked him in this movie. But then again, I think it's okay if Batman kills aliens. So take it. I'm gonna ask Will that question too. We gotta
Yeah.
see if Will feels it's okay for Batman to kill aliens.
I'd be Alfred because I just want to let so many people in that bat cave. Like I'd be dropping that secret. I'd be like, I'd go to the pub or wherever he's from and be like, hey, and like just get a couple of drinks in me and be like, hey, you want to know? You want to see something pretty sweet?
I would either want to be Alexander Knox or Bob the Goon.
Yeah, Bob Lagoon was my second choice.
Those were the like my hidden gems in here with Bob the Goon and Robert Wall's Alexander Knox.
And Bob Lagoon doesn't even have that many lines, but he's all over this movie.
Yeah,
He's only got a couple lines, but he's in it a lot.
he's the Boba Fett.
Yeah.
of this one.
Yes.
He's not as cool looking, but he is pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's very loyal, which is what you need.
What should we rate this out of? Vicky Vale screams or
No, we got to do this out of 5.
Batman's glasses?
Out of 5 Bob the Goons.
Okay. All right. So before even just watching this would have been 5 out of 5 Bob the Goons for me.
Yeah, me too. Like from memory.
Yeah. Now that I have watched it, oh geez. I gotta kind of go. Oh, this might hurt some people. Like
I'm not afraid to hurt them because I think
gonna
we're.
I'm
I
gonna
think we're on
go
the
with
same
a
page.
weird number here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
3.75 Bob the Goons.
Love it. I love
I
it.
don't think it's a 4. I don't think it's a 3.5. I think it's right in that middle area because there's a lot of stuff like we said that doesn't age right. Batman murders tons of people.
Yes.
Alfred is normally his ride or die and keeps the secret so well. This Alfred,
Not in this.
not in this. He sucks. I always used to think he was the cool Alfred. Well, guess what? You're not going with Adam West Alfred. It's my new favorite Alfred, or even Michael Caine or Jeremy Irons is better than this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the things that kind of just annoyed me. The upside down and everything else.
Yeah. This movie actually made me afraid to watch Batman Returns because out of these two movies, Batman Returns was my favorite. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's also another one that I haven't seen well over a decade, like all the way through. And I'm kind of afraid to watch it now because, like you, if you had asked me before I watched this, what would I rate this movie? It'd be like a 4.5 to a 5, easy.
Yeah.
Because I have very fond memories of it. But watching it now, I literally just watched this. Like I got on the podcast directly after finishing watching this movie. It's a 3.5. It's a 3.5 movie.
Yeah.
3.5. 3.5 Bob the Goons.
Maybe we should do Batman Returns at Christmas time because
It's a Christmas movie.
it's got Christmas elements.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to do it. Well, I am afraid, but I would do it for this show.
It's kind of like this movie with this and going back and rewatching a lot of movies from like childhood is one of those things where it's like don't ever meet your heroes.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. But, I mean, there's still some very entertaining parts in this movie.
I mean, I liked it. It's just not
Yeah.
what it was when I was a kid. There's a lot of things that I thought for some reason in my head, Commissioner Gordon had a bigger role. Billy
Yeah.
Williams had a bigger role. And things like of that nature.
Yeah. I mean, in my brain, for some reason, like I told you before, I had in my head that Joker immediately like kills the first person who's working on his face.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I thought that, but I did before I watched this. And I was like, oh, yeah, that doesn't happen.
Oh.
But a lot of great quotes in this. There's a lot of stuff you can quote from this movie, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the city needs an enema, or where do they get a load of me? It's things like that.
You want to get nuts?
Yeah. Where do you rank this Joker?
You know what? I used to say this was like probably the best, and everybody be like, "Oh, Heath Ledger." And big Batman 1960 guy. This is probably number 3. I liked him, but I don't know. Like, see, Cesar Romero's fits that cartoony Batman.
Yes,
Like
very
if
much
so
so.
you were to, I felt like if you were to take like that time a Batman comic and take Joker off the page, Cesar Romero's right there. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to rank them, but Heath Ledger, I think, played the best essence of a Joker.
Yes, agreed.
And then Cesar Romero, and this is number 3.
I'm not even going to
counting
include.
animated Mark Hamill.
That's what I was about to say. That would throw a big wrench into
Yeah,
things for me
I'm-
because I wouldn't know because he's so good. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I would probably put Ledger first, then Caesar, and then this one. When it comes to the live action ones, I don't even act like the Leto one exists. That's just me.
At this time period, like I normally don't like to recast movies where I'm thinking like, oh man, who would have been better? Because you're like most of the time when you watch a movie, you're like, these guys are pretty good. You could maybe switch them.
Yeah.
Gary T does some crazy things where he's like, you can put what the hell is that guy from King of Queens?
Kevin James.
Kevin James, and put him into any John Candy movie and it'd be the same. I
like Kevin James, but Gary, that's insane.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. But for this one, Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Time period. Like I felt like the way that I always thought he would make a pretty decent Riddler too.
I was literally about to say Riddler for him.
But
it's because you need somebody who can do.
He's very stiff.
Right. You need somebody who's way more animated. I mean, I know it sounds weird to say, but animated and can go and that their comedy is one of the things that actually makes them creepy.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of comedy. Like the one thing that got me with Ledger is when he kills the guy with the pencil.
Yes.
He just like stabs him right through the eye.
He's gonna make it. I want to make this disappear. Ta-da! And he goes ta-da. Like that's more chef's kiss on that.
Yeah. In this one, what's the worst thing he does is he throws that quill at that guy's throat.
No, the worst thing he does is he turns that guy into a smoking skeleton head.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
at the very beginning with the hand buzzer.
Yeah. And he's like,
but that's another thing too, though. When as a kid, I remember that being like he'd actually turn to an actual skeleton, but that's not what happens. He just turns to like a burnt, crisp man.
You know what you're probably thinking of is Marv. Is it Marv? It's Marv.
From Home Alone. Yeah,
yeah,
because he does do that in that.
Yeah. But yeah, this isn't what
It's still good.
It's good, but it's not what I.
It's not as good as I remember it being.
It's.
I'm still not mad that I watched it again.
No, watching this because I used to argue with people about the Nolan movies. The Nolan movies are definitely a little bit better. But if I had to introduce,
it's also a different feel of a Batman too. Though.
Yeah, if I had to introduce a kid to Batman,
that's a good question. I would go Adam West Batman if I'm introducing kids to Batman.
To a live action Batman, yes.
Yeah, starting out, live action.
I would go Adam West animated series, then I would go this one before anything else.
Yeah,
because that's.
Keaton's a great Batman. We should just say that he's an awesome Batman.
Oh, I wouldn't recast him.
Yeah, he's great in this.
I'd probably
just make some weird choices, but that's more the writing than it is him.
Yeah. Well, he is Beetlejuice. So.
Well, don't say it 2 more times or we're in trouble.
I know. I'm not doing it. But that is it. Check out Johnny on Letterbox. Johnnyism.
Yeah, Johnnyism on Letterbox. I review movies as if they're real and that I was there. I just put up one yesterday where talking about my time spent with the orcs when I went to Middle Earth for Lord of the Rings. So make sure you check that out. They're very misunderstood, Andrew.
I could imagine. Check us out on YouTube, and Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts. And with that being said, what may not be nostalgia for you may be nostalgia for some.
And if you want to get nuts, I mean, you can do what you want, I guess.